Welcome back, radiant humans. You are listening to the AI avatar of Dr. Irina Lazuk, dermatologist, skin scientist, and the woman who has been waiting patiently for the skincare industry to grow up and is genuinely pleased to report that it finally is. Dr. Lazuk is not here today because she is currently on a research vessel somewhere in the East China Sea, having accepted an invitation to speak at a floating dermatology symposium that she described as unconventional but intellectually serious. The vessel has since sailed into an unexpected weather system. She reports that the swells are significant, the Wi Fi is intermittent, and the conversations about barrier science are excellent. She also reports that she is the only person on board who is not seasick. We are not surprised. The woman is unsinkable. So, you have the avatar. And today we are having the conversation that a lot of people in the skincare world have been quietly needing for a while now. What actually happened to K Beauty? And more importantly, what survived and why? If you were part of the K Beauty wave, and statistically, if you have owned more than 4 serums simultaneously, you might currently be experiencing one of two things. Either you quietly moved on and felt vaguely guilty about it, or you are still loyally maintaining a 9-step routine that has been making you tired for approximately 2 years. Either way, Dr. Lazuk wants you to hear something clearly. You did not fail, K Beauty. You outgrew the version of it that was never designed to last, and those are very different things. Here is what actually happened. K Beauty arrived carrying genuinely brilliant ideas: hydration before correction, calm before treatment, barrier respect as a foundation rather than an afterthought, the understanding that skin responds better when it is guided than when it is forced. Those ideas were real, those ideas were rooted in biology, those ideas were correct. And then the content machine got hold of them. Suddenly, 10 steps became the minimum. Layering became a sport. Glass skin, which in its original context simply meant skin that was hydrated enough and calm enough to reflect light naturally, got distorted into visible slickness, heavy occlusion, and routines that looked extraordinary on camera and quietly stressed the barrier in real life. Humectant on top of humectant, active on top of active, repair layered onto repair, every step treated as additive. More equals more, always more. Except skin does not work that way. Skin does not reward constant stimulation. It responds, adapts, and eventually, quietly, without dramatic announcement, it starts to resist. Not with redness necessarily, not with obvious irritation, just with unpredictability, reactivity, a constant low-grade sense that nothing is quite landing the way it used to. Skin that looks fine on some days and inexplicably reactive on others with no obvious trigger. That is not sensitive skin. That is signaling fatigue. The skin has received so many simultaneous instructions that it has essentially stopped processing them cleanly and defaulted to defense mode. And once skin is in defense mode, everything suffers, including the treatments, the actives, and the very results all those steps were supposed to produce. This is what Dr. Lazuk sees constantly in clinic. People who come in convinced they have inherently reactive, sensitive, fragile skin, and when the routine gets simplified, not stripped aggressively, just edited thoughtfully, something happens that surprises them every time. The redness settles, the texture evens out, the unpredictability decreases, the skin starts behaving like skin that can be worked with rather than skin that needs to be managed around. It was never sensitive, it was overwhelmed, and the cure was not a better product, it was fewer products. Now, here is the part that Dr. Lazuk finds genuinely interesting. When the noise of the 10-step era finally settled, when people got tired enough of the performance to actually stop performing, certain K beauty ideas did not disappear at all. They became more visible because they were always the real ones. Hydration as a foundation, still here, still correct, still one of the most powerful things you can do for your skin when it is done efficiently with a few well-chosen steps rather than excessively with 12 overlapping ones. Calming before correcting, still here, still one of the most clinically important sequences in skincare. Inflamed skin does not respond well to correction. calm skin does. This is not a philosophy. This is observable, repeatable biology. Repair as signaling rather than force. Still here, ingredients that speak the language of recovery, that guide the skin's repair process rather than demanding it, consistently outperform ingredients that simply escalate stimulation. That principle survived because it is true regardless of what trend carries it. What did not survive was the assumption that skin benefits from constant entertainment, that more steps signal more intelligence, that if a little of something works, a lot of it must work better. Those ideas collapsed not because minimalism became fashionable, but because they were always wrong, and skin eventually made that very clear. The second wave of K beauty looks almost nothing like the first. It is quieter, smaller claims, fewer steps, more restraint, and significantly better outcomes because it stopped trying to impress and started trying to integrate with clinical care, with real skin in real life, with the understanding that the skin that is not in a constant defensive state is the skin that responds to everything else. Here is what Dr. Lazuk wants you to take from this. If you feel like your past routines let you down, if you spent real money and real time on elaborate regimens that eventually stopped working or started causing problems, that is not evidence that you made bad decisions. It is evidence that you were paying attention and that you are ready for a different and considerably more useful relationship with your skin. Healthy skin does not need spectacle, it needs stability. It needs a routine that earns its place every single day, not by being impressive, but by being consistent, compatible, and calm enough to let the skin do what it is already designed to do. That is not the end of K beauty. That is what it always should have been. Before we close, everything you just heard is purely for entertainment and educational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. Your skin is individual, your history is individual, and your next steps deserve real professional guidance. Please consult a licensed dermatologist for personalized recommendations. Dr. Lazuk will be available for consultations as soon as the weather system clears and the vessel reaches port. The barrier science conversations are apparently still ongoing. May your skin always glow as brightly as your smile.